Before I got my LVAD system, I had a great deal of difficulty, but it's hard to explain it because it was a gradual thing. It wasn't just all or none. Just every month would get a little tougher, and every day it'd get a little more difficult. And then these tough days were getting closer together to the point that I was not functioning. There's no comparison now between my quality of life and before my implant. Before the implant, it was dwindling to the point that I was beginning to wonder if this is all worth it. And now, after the LVAD, I'm doing much better. I've still got a ways to go on my physical therapy. I am more active in my yard, in my greenhouse, and I like to hunt and fish. I do have to keep things under some control, or I'm sort of like the guy that said, I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. And that's about the way I am right now. I do have some limitations. Some of that is probably going to be permanent. Some of it I think I will overcome by just getting my strength back and being active and exercising and just not let this slow me down too much. But I do plan to be back as much as at least as good as I was 10 years ago. I got more from insight into it from talking to a patient who had a similar device. He came by, showed us the device, told us the experiences that he had, and he said after the first 40 days are rough, you're going to think you made a wrong call, but it'll change. So don't get me wrong, we got good professional scientific input from the professionals, but I really, and we've talked about it, we treasure this 45-minute discussion with this patient. I think no one else knows what it's like unless you've been there. Well, from my experience, and if I were talking to a potential patient, I would say it may not be for everyone, the LVAD, but it depends on what you want out of life. If you want to exist as congestive heart failure is a dreadful disorder. You're smothering. It's terrible. If you can put up with that, and if you want to be limited to that for the next 5 or 6 years, that's your call. I chose not to. I chose to have an active life. I chose to have the surgery that allows me to have the life that I wanted. I don't know if I'm going to live any longer than the person who chooses not to have it, but I know I'm going to live a heck of a lot better lifestyle than you if you don't choose this. That's what I'd tell them.